They called her ugly because of her skin. They laughed, they pointed, they whispered things she still hears when she tries to sleep. But what the world never saw was the fire she carried in silence. Tonight on Modern Wounds, we meet a woman who turned their cruelty into her crown. Her name is Amara Fields, and her story will remind you that sometimes the world's darkest jokes create the brightest souls. Stay till the end, because this isn't just a story of pain, it's a story of power. Good evening, everyone. This is Blaze Hunter, and you're watching Modern Wounds. Amara, thank you for being here tonight. I know this story isn't easy to tell.
Thank you, Blaze. Honestly, I'm nervous, but I'm ready. For a long time, I stayed quiet, but silence was never meant to be my destiny.
That's powerful. Let's start at the beginning. When did you first feel the world saw you differently?
I was just 6. I remember standing in line at school, holding my little lunchbox, and a girl behind me said, "You're too dark to be pretty." I didn't even understand what that meant. I went home and asked my mom if my skin was wrong. She cried that night.
That's heartbreaking. Kids repeat what they hear at home, but words like that leave scars that don't fade.
Exactly. As I grew up, it got worse. I stopped smiling in pictures. I used to scrub my skin with lemon juice because someone told me it might make me lighter. Every mirror became a reminder that I didn't fit what people called beautiful.
And still, here you are, glowing, confident, powerful. What changed, Amara?
Pain changed me, Blaze. When I was 16, a boy I liked told me he couldn't date me because his friends would make fun of him. I remember going home that night and sitting in the dark. I looked at my hands, at the same skin I used to hide, and I thought, if I have to fight my whole life to be accepted, I might as well start by accepting myself.
That's such a strong realization for someone so young. Did you have anyone supporting you through that?
My mother, she always said, the world teaches hate, but you can teach it love. She started calling me her midnight miracle. She'd make me stand in front of the mirror and repeat, "I am not too dark. The world is too blind." It felt silly at first, but over time, those words became my armor.
That's beautiful. But I know it wasn't a straight path from pain to power. What happened when you stepped into the adult world?
College was a battlefield. Every casting call, every social circle, it felt like I was invisible. Once, a photographer told me, "You'd be perfect for this campaign if you were 2 shades lighter." That night, I deleted every photo of myself online. For months, I just faded into silence.
And yet, that silence didn't last. What brought you back out of it?
One afternoon, I saw a little girl, maybe 7 years old, crying in the park. Her mother was yelling at her for getting too dark playing in the sun. I saw myself in her. That was the day I realized if I stayed silent, I was agreeing with the voices that once broke me. So I decided to speak.
And how did you start doing that?
I began sharing my story online, just short videos, talking about colorism, self-worth, and healing. The first one barely got 50 views, but one comment changed everything. A girl wrote, "You made me feel beautiful for the first time." That night, I cried, not from pain, but from purpose.
That's how movements begin, one honest voice at a time.
Exactly. Within months, my videos started reaching thousands, then millions. But more than the numbers, it was the messages. People from all over the world saying, "Thank you for saying what I never could." For the first time, the same skin I was ashamed of became the reason people listened.
You turned your wound into your weapon. That's extraordinary.
It wasn't easy. There were still trolls, still cruel comments, people saying I was playing victim or using race for sympathy. But I stopped letting strangers define me. I told myself, if they're loud enough to hate, I'll be louder to heal.
That line hits deep. You know, Amara, watching you speak now, it's hard to imagine the girl who once hated mirrors.
That girl still lives in me, Blaze. But now, when she looks in the mirror, she sees a survivor. I launched a nonprofit last year called Shades of Strength. We visit schools and talk to young girls about self-love, colorism, and confidence. Because no one should grow up feeling they have to be lighter to be loved.
That's powerful, turning your past into someone else's hope.
That's the goal. I don't want revenge on the world. I just want to rewrite the definition of beauty.
And you are. For everyone watching tonight, what would you tell someone who still hides from their reflection?
I'd tell them, stop waiting for the world to clap for you. Clap for yourself. Your worth was never meant to be voted on. And remember this, the sun doesn't apologize for shining too bright. So why should you apologize for your shade?
That's gold. Truly.
Thank you. You know, people once said, dark skin can't glow. But I learned something. Melanin doesn't just glow under light, it creates light.
That's the most beautiful line I've heard all week.
Maybe because it's finally coming from a place of peace.
Amara, your journey is proof that pain can become power if we refuse to let it define us. You didn't just survive the hate, you turned it into hope.
Thank you, Blaze. I just hope someone watching tonight feels less alone, because that's how healing begins, one shared story at a time.
And that's why Modern Wounds exists. To everyone watching, if Amara's story touched your heart, hit that like button, share this episode, and drop a comment below. Tell us what part of her journey spoke to you the most. Remember, beauty isn't in comparison, it's in courage.
You are not your shade. You are your strength.
Beautifully said. This is Blaze Hunter, signing off. Stay brave, stay kind, and never let anyone dim your light.